All right, John, Jack, McCaig, Jesus Christ Trust. Give you some updates this week. First of all, next week I'm not going to have this show because I will be traveling from India to the USA. So I'll be traveling for more than 24 hours and won't be able to get internet, be on the show and all that. I'll be on a plane or waiting somewhere or something. So I'll be skipping next week's Sunday show, just so you know. All right. And then, I'll probably be back the week after that, next Sunday at noon. So skipping the show on the 10th, I guess 10 plus 7 would be the 17th. It'll be the next show after this one. So just so you know that. Okay. All right. A few things to go over. It's been interesting here in India. Been very interesting. I've been here. It's going to be a 2-month pilgrimage that I will have been here. And I've learned a lot. Main thing I learned is that really, except for just so few people that are alive, people actively regret. People actively reject the truth and therefore reject God. That's what's happening here under the dome. Is people just don't want the truth and say no, basically, basically right to my face. And they don't want the truth, so they don't want God. That's pretty much the situation here. They think, I don't know what they think, but as the Bible says, and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. So if you don't want to know the truth, you don't get set free. That's it. If you don't want to know the truth, then you don't get set free. That's it. And if you don't know the truth, you don't get set free. That's it. So I would say my experience is that basically people don't want to know the truth, and that's in America, and that's in India. Basically, that's pretty much almost everyone except for a very few people. I'd say the rough numbers in India. I was able to see 3 people again that I explained, like Mayor Baba's flag to, right? I go throughout India and oh, are you Hindu? Yeah, I'm Hindu. Would you like to know what the word Krishna means? They're like, no. Like, you're Hindu. You can follow Krishna, yes. So do you want to know what the word Krishna means? No. I don't want to know. They take one look at me. They don't want to know. They don't want to know what the word means. That's all. And Christian and Christ have this? It's a title. That's all it is. And he's Jesus of Nazareth, and then he becomes Jesus Christ after the cross. This character Krishna, Krishna is a title. So do you want to know what it means? And the Hindus are like, no. And even if a few of them say yes and hear the truth, like I went to the Bomb Jesus, that's what they call it, BOM, Jesus Basilica today in Goa, India. And there was a guide at the door, and we were going there, and he's like, oh, would you like a guide? And starts to go into his little spiel. And I was like, are you Christian? No. Are you Hindu? Yeah, I'm Hindu. Um, and so we're at the basilica is for Christians. So this guy's a Hindu, and I say, "Oh, you're Hindu." I said, "Do you want to know what the word Krishna means?" And he's like, "Okay," long pause. Okay, so I say, "Okay, it's like this. When you're in an outdoor shower, yeah, you see a rainbow. Yes, and you're in an outdoor shower, you see a rainbow. Yes, okay. When you're in an indoor shower, right? There's a light, right? There's a light above your head, right? And there's water drops. No rainbow. Am I right? Yes, that's right. Is that what you experienced? Yes, that's what I experienced. Okay. I say, so here's how the only way a rainbow can be created, right? This is the only way. Tell me if I'm wrong. Light goes through a crystal and then comes out, and there's a rainbow. Am I right? Yeah, you're right. This is to the guide, right? I said, so that proves we're standing outside. Look up. That proves we're under a crystal dome. We're in a crystal ball in the ocean. It's during the day. The blue sky, right? It's blue in the daytime. It's black at night. We're in a crystal ball in the ocean. The one that rules the crystal ball, right? That's the title. Whoever rules the crystal ball, that's title is called Krishna or Crystal, because the Krishna or Christ, Crystal, Krishna, the ruler of the crystal ball. That's what it means. I said, you understand? He's like, I understand. I was like, okay. So who does that make me if I'm the only one that knows and can tell you? Who am I? He's like, you're Christ. I was like, that's right. And I said, well, we're going to go now. I said, okay. And you see, the reason I bring that up and tell people in such a simple way here, there, everywhere is because, and then I've said this to other Hindus, right, while I'm here. And I said, and I would say, so if Krishna shows up, what are you supposed to do? Like if you saw Krishna walking down the street, what are you supposed to do? Do you know? All Hindus, the Hindus I speak to, they go, oh, if Krishna shows up, you bow at his feet. I'm like, that's right. That's right. And so I explained this, and I said, well, so you didn't bow at my feet, so you have to reincarnate. You lose. That's it. That's what I tell them. So you lose the game. That's it, because you just figured out. I told you directly to your face, and you figured out, oh, only Krishna, only Christ knows going to know that answer and be able to say it, right? That's it. That's the only one who knows the truth. He could say it to your face. And so you didn't bow at Krishna's feet, at Christ's feet, so you reincarnate. That's it. That's it. Why is that a necessary step? You think that's because I have an ego? No, 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 no. No, 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 no. The bowing is to remove the ego, to prove that the ego is wrong, and then what? You serve God. You serve, you agree, oh, there's a spiritual hierarchy, someone's at the top, and so, that's a location that you can be, right? That's what we all have to achieve, is that status, Christ consciousness, Krishna consciousness. In Mumbai, there's a place called the Ramakrishna Temple, and like on the outside it says, dedicated to Krishna consciousness. That's it. It's dedicated to that. I've asked in there, hey, what does rainbow mean? And they're just like, you shouldn't be an ego telling people that, you know, you have Krishna consciousness. And I was like, no, I just explained what it means. And that therefore explains I have Krishna consciousness. That's it. That's not, they will be known by their fruits in the Bible. You have to prove to people. It takes me like 1 minute to explain Christ or Krishna consciousness by the rainbow. Takes like 1 minute. Doesn't take long time in your whole lifetime. Takes 1 minute for me to prove that I'm the one with Christ consciousness. With Krishna consciousness, takes like 1 minute. That's it. So either there's a hierarchy of spiritual consciousness or there isn't. They're just, someone has that consciousness that it's like, oh, I'm one with God, right? The way Jesus said it is, my Father and I are one. So either someone has that consciousness or you're saying nobody does. So you're bowing at the feet of yourself, your future self. You see what I'm saying? You're saying, oh, great, I can get out of here, you know? Oh, Krishna, Christ consciousness is possible, and therefore I could achieve that. In fact, what else do you have to say? That no one, even if I take the time to explain that to someone, no one wants to know more. And then no one bows at my feet, no one. But it did happen here to me a few days ago. And it happened, see, there are a few people that recognize who I am. Usually little children. Like today at the Bomb Jesus Basilica, this one very tiny little boy came running over to me from his parents and family, and he came running over, da, 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 and his sister, tiny little sister, follows him and comes over to me, looks at me, and then puts up his hand to shake my hand. I'm like, I shake his hand. Oh, hey, how you doing? And his sister looks at me, oh, and then runs away. You know, so they're pure at heart, so they can simply recognize who I am. That's all. And then the only people that bowed at my feet here was really interesting. Was a couple. Then this is how it went. And this was only a few days ago. The last of our pilgrimage journey, I took the pilgrims here to the lying down saint here, Agmanadi Baba. And he's been in a glass enclosure room, lying down in a bed for over 20 years and has never had any food or water during those 20 years. Never had any food or water during those 20 years. Hey, Jay. Not mornings. Good one, man. Right? This saint has been lying there in the, God absorbed state that happens, on the way to God, and you're getting Krishna, Christ consciousness. Like Mir Baba's tomb is called Samadhi. So this saint, this lying down saint, is in the consciousness of Samadhi. It's called Samadhi. Samadhi, meaning God absorbed. And in other words, he doesn't see out of the eyes, like he doesn't see the world. With his consciousness, it's totally God absorbed. Doesn't see this world. He only sees God. Period. He's in the bliss, just lying there. Doesn't see anything but God. Jack, I just dropped a gift in the mail for you. Oh, that's so sweet, Jay. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you, Jay. I really appreciate that. And I'm gonna get into that. Thank you for that gift. I want to talk about gifts and donations in a minute here. So thank you for bringing that up. I appreciate that. And so I'm at this. I've taken the pilgrims after their pilgrimage to other places. One of whom I've been with. Almost every day I've been here. I got to here a couple days ahead of the pilgrims, and then every day I've been with someone here, and then the other ones got here, and they've been here for over a week now, and then we finish up our last week together, and then they'll be going home to USA. That's 6 people that come here out of all the humans from the USA, and 4 of those people had an experience while they're here of experienced a one-on-one uh, uh, experience with God. They've had a one-on-one experience with God, because I guided them here, and I said, well, if you come here, you can have a one-on-one experience with God. And four out of the 6 of them, they've had that. And so that's an experience of Christ consciousness, of God consciousness. You have a consciousness, and there's 7 planes to it. There's 7 veils that get removed on the way to God. And so the final one is, actual Christ consciousness, and there's no more veil between you and God. Right? My Father and I are one. That's what Mayor Baba calls the 7th plane. If you read about it in God Speaks. So, out of these pilgrims, 4 of them have had some level of interaction or the veil being removed directly. And the other 2 have had witness, me when I touched the tomb, when I went there first time in their presence and so on. I laughed. I got hit with the bliss and just laughed like an absolute maniac in front of, I don't know, easily whatever, 100 people, maybe more, because it was Mayor Baba's birthday celebration. And so there were a lot of people there. And I walked back away from the tomb enough, but I just laughed like a madman because I'm hit by the bliss. And so, I never have my consciousness become totally one with God except for in front of many people, with the exception of doing it at Myrtle Beach one time when I went on a plane. But I've had it, but like 7th plane, experiences, like full Christ consciousness has been in front of many people because it's a service to them, just like the story I was explaining about this lying down saint. He's doing that in a glass room, and people come by. He's in a shrine. He's in a temple there, and the whole place is built up for people to witness what this guy is experiencing. Then that's why I took the pilgrims there last after being at the Mayor Baba Center. And all the pilgrims that come here are kicked out of the Mayor Baba Center. They got kicked out. They got made homeless by the Baba lovers, by the they come to the Mayor Baba Center. And they found out the Baba Center found out they're with me, and so they got kicked out immediately, made homeless, basically. And so you have to lose everything to have an experience with God. You have to lose everything. To gain God, you have to lose everything in this world. So they got the gift, the blessing, and this is what the Baba lovers explain. The ones who run that pilgrimage retreat center explain these pilgrims were being given a gift by being thrown out on a dime with no place to stay. They found a place, but you see a bunch of the pilgrims that come, they have a home, and they're not going to be made homeless in the USA. And haven't been, except with one exception, a guy who lives in his van and so on has had that experience. But I mean, the rest of them are never going to have in this lifetime the experience of being homeless. So it was a gift that the people that run the Baba Center made them homeless, because that has to happen on the way to God realization, having a meeting with God. You have to lose everything in this world. And so they were given homelessness by the Baba lovers. And I said, oh, this is a gift. You have to leave. You're with that guy, me. And so you have to leave. And they explained, this is a great gift to you. And of course, being made homeless doesn't feel like a gift. I've had that gift many times myself. It never feels like a gift, but it is a gift that God gives you. Otherwise, you can't become one with God. It's not possible. You can't have that happen. It can't happen. You can't win the spiritual game here unless you're being the gift of homelessness at some point. It's not possible. You haven't lost everything in this world, so you can't gain everything not of this world. God, you don't get God unless you lose everything in this world. So they had that experience. Anyway, I'm going to go back into the lying down saint experience. In other words, they've been given the gift of being, thrown out of the Baba Center on their pilgrimage. They've been given the gift of God, of meeting, having an experience directly with God themselves, not with me, but an unexplainable experience in the unseen realm themselves, that they have an experience of meeting with God. That happened for them. With, I guess, the exception of one, not two, one. I'm sorry. It was one. Everyone else has had that here. And so we go to the lying down saint, and I'm there. And it's a completely different situation there, first of all. And the way I'm treated and the way these pilgrims are treated. They're like, oh, here, come sit down in this room. They put everyone has gets an orange uh not shawl, but scarf, an orange scarf put around their neck, to signify, you know, respect for those people that come. And they wanted to do it to me first. So, like, you're sitting here, we'd like to put a scarf over you. And I said, if you do that, I have to touch your feet. And they're like, you know. So, but they give us total respect, unlike the Baba Center. These people just recognize, who I am, our situation, that I'm bringing pilgrims here. Sat us down like, oh, thank you for coming, and a great respect and so on. And while we're getting ready to exit that place, and they're like, oh, you can give them donations, I said, which people did. And they had them sign pieces of paper and stuff, who they were and all that. And while they were doing that, I was standing outside waiting for them. And this young man came up to me and looks at me. And he doesn't speak English. And he just looks at me and looks at me in the eyes. And I'm like, I look at him and I say, I pray for him. I say, yes, I'm Krishna. And he looks at me. He doesn't have any English. And just like, oh, he just like looking at me. He's like, yeah, I'm the one. Yes. Bows at my feet, touches his head to my feet when he recognized me, right? And then he leaves. This is the first time this happens to me in India. And then he leaves. And so we're get ready to leave ourselves. They filled out piece of paper and gave donation. And then I said, oh, let's walk by the saint one more time on our way out. And we do. And then we're walking out and we're getting ready to meet the driver and get a ride away from there. And everyone's had this experience of meeting with this lying down saint. And right before I'm ready to get in the car, this guy who had bowed at my feet pulls up with his woman, I guess wife or whatever, sister, who knows, right? They don't speak English. And she just jumps off the scooter right in front of me. And they don't speak English, okay? And there are a whole bunch of people standing around. And she immediately bows at my feet and touches her forehead to both my feet. And then, her husband, brother, whoever it is, who went and got her, like, oh my God, he's here, and does it again at my feet. So two people really that was pretty much at the end of my travels in India. Now we're in Goa, just staying at a place that's at the beach, like, so people can process their pilgrimage, basically, pretty much. It happened automatically. Finally, I was just, as I've been going through this place in India, I'm like, well, I guess the whole place is going to burn and everyone's going to hell, like, and then I had this automatic reaction. No, not from no one at the Baba Center. Almost everyone there speaks English and stuff. I'm explaining the truth if I'm around them, all that, whatever. And I've done it before in the past. They don't want the truth. They're at a place called Samadhi. You follow? And they're watching over a place, Meher Baba's tomb, has a name, Samadhi. They just totally, here, you have the gift of homelessness. Get out of here. Never come back here to me and the pilgrims. Never. They're never allowed back here. Not in the USA, not in India. Don't come to any Meher Baba spot. Get out of here. Never come back. That's the reaction of the Baba lovers. All of them. Not just the place running it, all that stuff. They're all like, don't get out of here and never come back. And then we go to this lying down saint place, and they automatically recognize me, treat me with respect, because they're not at a tomb that's called samadhi. They're at a place where this guy is in samadhi, in a body. He's there for over 20 years now, in a glass room, never eats, never drinks, totally alive. And so they're in the experience of witnessing someone who has, Christ consciousness, who meeting with God all day, every day. You see, and so that's a service this lying down saint is giving to those around him. And that's why I took the pilgrims there to experience, in other words, what is different, what the difference is of meeting with someone, seeing someone who's actually in samadhi, who's with God, God absorbed, not separate from God. You don't have to eat, you don't have to drink, you don't see this world. And the people that are around them, around this lying down saint, like completely separate consciousness of what samadhi means, to the point where they can recognize who I am. Also, there are 3 local Baba lovers, 3 Indians who've been my drivers there, and somebody else who used to work at the front desk in the Baba Center. 3 local Indians who were actually 3 guys who recognized who I am over the years of me going there. I explained, hey, this is what Meher Baba's flag means. I go through the rainbow explanation. Meher Baba's flag has blue at the top. And so you see the blue? That means we're in an ocean. Meher Baba said he's the ocean of love. It's not a metaphor. He's compassionate Father, God, right? The unlimited ocean that surrounds this crystal ball. That's him, the Father. And I'm his son. So, and they're like, and 3 Indians who see the Indian people there, Indian people there driving all the Westerners around, never complaining, all that, taking to heart the Indian saying, guest is God. In other words, that's what they're doing. They're helping people, from the West that come there, go to God. Jai Baba Didi. They're doing that. And so when I'm able to explain the truth to them over the years, I met with 3 people, and I saw them again this trip. I saw them last trip. I was here in 2019. I saw them in this trip. I explained the 64-year time loop to them, and they accepted. Oh my God, I said, who am I? I'm the avatar, and I said, I have to touch your feet, and they jump, but they allowed me to touch their feet. And I said, to those 3 individuals, I said, no more incarnations for you. You're done. This game is over for you, because you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. They didn't deny who I am, didn't deny the truth, allowed me to touch their feet. They didn't fall at my feet, but, so they're coming at some point, right? But they accept the truth of who I am, as best as they're able, and good enough to sit there and see me off, give me a hug. Thank you for telling me who you are. Don't deny me as an avatar. So those 3 individuals and the 2 that bowed at my feet, I got 5 people as far as I can get them in India. And then I got these 6 individuals, these 6 pilgrims, as far as I can get them from America. And Didi wasn't able to make it because of life experiences, and she's, as far as she can get with having consciousness and the experience of God and so on, due to her difficulties. And so that's 12 people altogether. Nothing against everyone else, but here's the thing: if literally, there isn't a sublimation of the ego by bowing at my feet, or some very similar aspect of taking what I say as direct orders and doing them. And I mean doing everything I say, like Didi has done everything I say, then the ego is still there. And it's like, oh, I don't fully believe in the spiritual hierarchy. And so I can't help them. I can't get them where they need to go, because they're not bowing at their own feet. Oh, they're saying, well, he didn't make it, so they're denying the truth, and so they're not going to make it. It's just that simple. It's just, there's one that has this consciousness, myself, and no one else has it. Uh, there are five perfect masters. There's the 330 million fallen angels in here playing the game, operating the game, working for God, right? They're in here keeping the game running. So they're here. They're working for God. Some of them have God realization. Some of them have union with God, like the lying down saint, right? How is he separate from God? He's not. He's not. So that's a service that they are doing in here, right? Five perfect masters, my perfect master, my master, my guru. I followed everything he said. I had to bow at his feet. And so that's how I got to Christ consciousness. My ego dropped and, went to Baba's tomb under his direction, and I received Christ consciousness, and I was told by my perfect master, you're the God man now. You are Christ. Oh, okay. But see, he knows the whole time loop. He already knows it all. He comes in here in a body with Christ consciousness, working for God, looking to give me Christ consciousness, wakes me up. I done it. He did it. I pray for him that he don't have to come back. So, there is a somewhat hidden spiritual hierarchy. I'm at the top. Didi, the devil celebrates the body. They wrestle with the laws and principalities, right? And and I'm ripping down the dome. Yeah, right. True. Jack ripping down the dome. Yeah, so I'm doing it consciously. That's true. Ripping down the dome, in other words, removing the lies and explaining the truth. This is what only I come up with, but we're in a crystal ball in the ocean. I'm the first one to figure it out. I'm the first one to figure out everything. And they already know, the ones that are in here. So I wanted to tell you about that. And so today we're at the Bomb Jesus Basilica in Goa, India. And across the street, there's these two other like cathedral-sized churches, really gigantic, And so we go through these three places, and at the last stop, in the third place, there's this gigantic painting. And I mean, pretty much as big as a painting can be. And it's Judgment Day, the painting. And Jesus is sitting in there. Jesus Christ is sitting on a rainbow above a sphere, above the cross. And the cross has two strings coming down from it, right? And beneath it are two books on the strings. So picture the cross as a scale. The cross is a scale weighing. These two books are the books of what's done in one's life, the good and the bad. And under one of the scales, an angel, and under the other scale is the devil. And under the scale is Michael the archangel, sending people one way to the devil and to the pit where they get tossed in the lake of fire, and sending the other ones to this gigantic mass of angels, bringing them to heaven, which is up near Jesus. And above heaven, above Jesus, is like this kind of like formless eye above God, God above Jesus Christ. And above him, right, there's in the corners are the old reset and the new reset. And beneath this whole scene is, on one side is hell, and on the other side is the earth being destroyed. So, and there's a lot of other details in this. But then there's a ladder up all the way to this one section above Jesus where, like Jacob's ladder, right? It's possible to go up to God and not go to heaven or hell. That's just, reincarnation. You're going to have to come back and play the game again. But there's this ladder up to this tiny little spot up there where there are very few people up in the top where you can come to God and never play the game again. That's where I'm going. There is no one on that ladder in this image, but there were a few people up in that little tiny spot that have reached God all the way and aren't going to reincarnate and go back into the game. Is that Goa? Is that in Goa? Yes, it is. It is in Goa, India. It is. It's in old Goa, they call it. It's an old Goa. And so, I'm standing there with these 6 pilgrims decoding this entire painting just on the spot, And when I went into that giant, whatever, cathedral church, whatever this giant one, I don't know the name of the church. It's across the street from the BOM Jesus, BOM Jesus church. It's across the street from it. It's I don't know what the name of it is. Honestly, it doesn't really have it on it. It doesn't. This painting is, they don't have a reproduction of this painting. It's something you got to go stand in front of and witness. And we were just stood in front of it for a long time. It's like, I have never been in front of a piece of artwork like this piece of artwork. You're seeing all that I've explained on Judgment Day, and everything that I say is going to happen is this painting is of that situation right there. There's somebody kneeling next in line. His books are being weighed on the good deeds and bad deeds, and that cross is a scale that weighs those deeds. And they're written in books. Everything you do, every deed you do, every action you take, it's written in a book. And on Judgment Day, it's weighed on a scale at the cross. Judgment Day takes 1,000 years to weigh everybody's books. You see what I'm saying? Everyone that's in a body, everyone gets weighed that day. Everyone. It's just to stand in front of this after I've decoded this entire situation for everyone, and then go stand in front of it as a painting. Let me tell you what, right? You're never going to experience anything like that. I mean, not ever. This thing is gigantic. It's so big. And there is every single detail. And as I'm walking through this church, before we stand in front of this painting, there's this Muslim guy right at the front of the church. And there's this giant cross and gold and everything in front of this church. And I walk up there, and this little Muslim guy starts looking at me like, recognizing who I am, and keeps looking at me, and like, it's interesting how some people can see who I am. They don't even have English or anything. This was just before seeing this painting. You're getting close, Jay. Maybe. In Goa, Basilica of BOM Jesus is most frequently visited. Exactly, and this is just across the street. This whole place is, like the BOM Jesus Old Goa Basilica situation. Go across the street and you can go to these 2 other churches, which are something by themselves. The other church across the street has the Cross of Miracles, which you can touch. The Cross of Miracles. We touched the Cross of Miracles before going into the other church and seeing this Judgment Day painting, which didn't have a name on it, under it. The painting doesn't have a name under it. The church doesn't have a name. I'm sure it has a name. It just doesn't have it on it. It's really impossible to fully describe. Yeah, no problem, Jay. Of course, no one can have the experience of coming to God unless I'm in India. It's not like you can't see this information and stuff, but right, unless you bow at my feet, right? And that takes away most of the power, me saying that it has to be done. And that's why these 2 individuals that did it automatically at the lying down saint received such a gift as no more lifetimes. Because all they had to do was, you see, God responds not to an informed prayer and a prayer by rote. I understand intellectually. Now I have to bow at this guy's feet. This was a spontaneous prayer. You see what I'm saying? They don't even know me, can't even understand a word of English, saw me, bowed at my feet. Spontaneous prayer is what God responds to. Above all of our other prayers is spontaneous. on the spot, boom. And to that's the ultimate prayer. You see what I'm saying? You bow to, the one who's at the head of the spiritual hierarchy as an automatic response, knowing who they are. There simply is no higher prayer that can be initiated in action. That's the top one. And those two win the game automatically from one action that took them, 10 seconds. They won. And that's all there is to it. They automatically won. Ding, you win no more lifetimes. Ding. And they got that from living around the lying down saint. They were able to recognize me from seeing the saint every day. You know what I'm saying? And living there around that. A lot of people live around the saints, make this situation continue by supporting the temple and all that, and help visitors come there. And let me tell you, this lying down saint place is in the middle of like the poorest of India. You have to drive through the countryside on the most rickety roads and all that stuff. And they were able to make it. We went there, and so that they achieved that on their own automatically. So I'm just going into some of my experience on this pilgrimage. When I get back, I'll still be going to the drum circles as much as I go, whatever. I have a lot of work to do when I get back. I'm be starting law school, and I have to go after the copy. I have to, do all that, go against the copyright thieves. I'm back to work helping people at Liberty Aid Academy, all that stuff. I'll be still doing darshan. No one kneels at my feet at those, at that places. So I really help no one that comes. One individual who has met me at the drum circle is on this pilgrimage, and he found out about my work online and actually grew up in the Comus Beach area and so on, and he had had a direct experience with God while he's here. So, he come to God come to him, however both, I'll come to India and God came to you. Yay. So that's still going to happen. I'm still going to perform that duty of mine of darshan. In other words, making myself available for someone to lose their ego and you want to go to God. There's a spiritual hierarchy. Let me tell you, these two individuals that did this spontaneous prayer actually bowed at a couple of those feet, like a couple of the pilgrims' feet, and I was like, how does that feel? It doesn't, like, it's not comfortable. I was like, no, I don't want people bowing at my feet. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the people that done it here, I'm like, don't do it again. I don't want to have that experience. It's a gift I give to allow it to happen, for them to achieve God realization, for them to achieve the end of their lifetimes or the highest plane of consciousness they can. I had to tell them the information. It wasn't spontaneous for anyone that come here. I had to explain bowing at my feet and stuff like that. And they chose to do it, but they didn't do it spontaneously. So they don't get the same level of achievement that these two did automatically, but their egos still allow them to do it. So they still receive benefit from it. You see what I'm saying? Not at the level of a spontaneous prayer, but they still receive the benefit, still had an experience of meeting with God. That still happened for them. You see what I'm saying? In other words, they got judgment. When they went to Meher Baba's tomb, because I was a guide, and they bowed at my feet. Oh, spiritual hierarchy is real. You say that's real. Okay, then God gives them what they deserve for that. You see? That's the way it happens. So someone coming here on their own is not going to get, God realization or an experience with God necessarily, because I'm not here physically guiding them. And I didn't give them orders to come to the tomb, because I made myself available for people to be guided. So you should have been guided. There are very few individuals that can't do it due to money situation, stuff like that. Dee Dee's one of them, pretty much. But, to their credit, the Poe family, whoever signed up for pilgrimage, Poe family helped out financially, whoever needed it that couldn't come because of money, they helped them to their credit and to their spiritual benefit. And 2 of the 3 of the Poe family that come here directly saw Jesus Christ, had an experience of directly meeting with Jesus Christ due to their service to others and then listening to the truth. And me directly met with Jesus Christ at the Meher Baba Pilgrim Center. They had that experience. I told them, that they deserve it, and so they had it. So Jay, I've noticed everyone puts themselves at the top of their own pyramid and makes themselves God, right? Sad. It is sad. It is sad because the ego has to die on the way to God. God doesn't want, not God's not going to be like, hey, come home. And then why? Why? Let me tell you why. Why is this game played? Why is this spiritual game being played? Because in God's presence, right? In God's presence, God emanates a feeling that everyone in God's presence, each individual soul in God's presence, has a reaction that, how do I serve you, God? In other words, the angels who are directly around God, performing God's orders, doing what God says, are in God's presence. And the only thing that can happen in God's presence is you have an automatic reaction. I'll do whatever you say. So the game is, when you get thrown down to earth, got your memory wiped and all that, who will you be? Will you automatically serve God? You see what I'm saying? Will your reaction be to God, how do I serve you? You see what I'm saying? So that's a test. When you're not in God's presence, will you automatically serve God in every way, shape, or form? Choose God. That's the only reason for your existence. And when you finally do that, you win the game. Period. That's how you win. And that's the reason for the game. You see, that's why the evolution of through the physical forms, once you've done the animal forms and so on, is angel, fallen angel, human. You see what I'm saying? That's the evolution that you have to go through, because the angels are in direct, communion with God, and so they have no free will. They're just doing what God says, because that's the automatic reaction in God's presence. The fallen angels are like, man, I can't do that order, so they're fallen. They're cast on the dome, but they're still doing God's orders. Just because they're under the dome doesn't mean they're not doing God's orders. Like the devil, they're performing. They're making it so a game happens. They're playing all the characters here and everything so that we can have the game experience. They're our adversary in the game, but they know what's up. They know what's going on. They know there's a 64-year time loop. They know everything, you see? And so the fallen angels and the devil, right, they can go to heaven after this. 144,000, the 12 tribes of Israel, they go to heaven. Why? Because they're following God's orders while they're under the dome, right? That's why, what could happen if they say anything? If you don't know the game, I know the game, right? Every detail of it. So they're able to somewhat say, the truth in front of me because they know I know the truth. So, but if they were to ever slip up and give anyone the truth, ever, under the dome here, they would not go to heaven because they wouldn't be following orders. They'd be slipping up and giving you information that other people don't have, and that would be unfair. They're fairies. They're like, never tell anyone anything. Make them play the game. Don't tell them a single thing. I'm the only one that can speak the truth of the game. I'm the only one that knows. They all know they can't speak it. You see? But I can. I'm the one that has the truth, and I can speak it. That's the way people can know that I'm, the one who I am. I'm the one. Right? I'm Neo. I'm the one. I'm Christ, right? I'm the one that knows every single detail, can say it, can explain it. That's different from all that. You see what I'm saying? I'm at the top of the hierarchy. Oh, you got to listen to that guy. Wow, that's all true. Thank you for the truth. And then you come to God, right? You win the game. Whoop. That's it. There's nothing else going on here. There's not a single other thing going on. Anyone thinks there's something else going on here? No, there's nothing else going on. Nothing. And so, your deeds are being weighed in this, right? In this painting that God made of Judgment Day, right? The earth is being destroyed, and there's somebody kneeling under the cross with the deeds being weighed. And then over on the side, and then people are being taken to heaven, and people are being tossed into the lake of fire, into the pit, and they're going to hell. But then up on this other side near Jesus, and really ultimately going up above Jesus to the side, winning the game completely, right? Not going to heaven or hell, is this ladder. You see, like Jacob's ladder, right? And so Jacob and Esau, right, in Genesis, are at war. In other words, we're at war with, and they're brothers, right? So our brothers and sisters, the fallen angels, right? That's our brothers and sisters up here. We're at war with them. And the Grateful Dead have a song about this, My Brother Esau. And these are the you can go listen to the song by the Grateful Dead, and you can see these lyrics. Here's the way it starts, and I used to like this song, Grateful Dead. I used to listen to this. Listen to how it starts. My brother Esau killed a hunter back in 1969, and before the killing was done, his inheritance was mine. Right? Okay, in 1969. This is telling you that the time loop of 1969, the game starting in 1969, is real. They all know it. They know it. They know this game is happening and happening over and over, and starts in 1969. Grateful Dead know it. Every fallen angel knows it. They all know it. They all know. You see? And the song ends shadowboxing the apocalypse. They know this is happening. They know. Haven't seen that spirit here since 1969. Exactly. Right? Robert Fogarty, is that right? That's what I'm saying. They all know. They all know. And they're all silent on the topic. There are adversaries. And that's how, if they continue to do their work right, they're angel, then fallen angel, then human, they get to play the game as a human. If a human wins the game and makes a slot empty and climbs Jacob's ladder, right, and Esau beats Jacob, and actually wins the game, shadowboxing the apocalypse, and wins and gets outside of heaven and hell and comes to the uppermost part of that painting, this very tiny little community up in the corner that now is above the game. I can watch and see the game, but comes to God all the way. That's the game. Hotel California. Right, exactly. Thank you. Oh, right. It's the Eagles. Right, it's the Eagles, Hotel California. I've been seeing that spirit here since 1969. Hotel California, the song. Exactly. Thank you, Jay, for reminding me of that. I was like, I know there's this other song in 1969. Yes, thank you, thank you. I was telling the pilgrims about, hey, let's look up Brother Esau. Look, back in 1969, there it is, right there. They know, they know, they know, they know. And there's a ladder. I'm standing there in front of this painting. I'm like, look, no one's on the ladder. You notice no one's on the ladder? You see the place we need to go. Jay's on top of his game. Thank you, Jay. True that, man. True that. So, I'm able to say exactly who I am, where I am, all through India, explain the reality of our situation to everyone wherever I go, at every temple, at every church, everywhere, explain it to everyone. I'm able to explain who I am. And they go, well, who are you? I'm like, who am I? And they're like, well, you must be Krishna. Yeah, that's right. That's what I say I am. And that's who I prove I am. That's it. There's only one here. There's only one. There's only going to be one every game, every reset. There's only going to be one. So there's only going to be one John Jack McCaig, right? And then my consciousness, I'm going to climb that ladder. I'm going to be out of the game. You see, Jesus runs this place. He comes every time. The game players, right, shift. Hey, I make a slot empty at the top. I follow my perfect master. He's the one that gets me where I am. And then I leave, and that's it. There's one slot open for the next reset. Who else comes all the way? Who's going to do what I've done up in here so far? Who's going to perform the actions? Because listen, I mean, Dee done a lot, don't get me wrong. So I'm saying other people can do actions in extreme actions to the death, other people would think, to the death, like Dee Dee's, fireproof truss and so on. Everyone dying, dropping like flies and dying around her, like there are some others in here that can open up a slot so you can climb Jacob's ladder on Judgment Day and make it to that tiny little community where it's only us hanging out with each other and no one else. I'm watching the whole thing down there below and never reincarnating and proven to God, you can trust me in the game where everyone's against me, where my brother Jacob is going to steal my inheritance, right? Going to want to murder me, everything. We have to play against this game is infinitely difficult. You know what I'm saying? The difficulties of this game are impossible to describe and almost impossible to overcome. Only with God's help and only going to the death over and over and over to prove God is real, to prove God it loves you, and to prove it to others around you, not just to yourself, but you're in service of others, showing the proof, giving testimonial, doing all that stuff for other people, proving, oh, I drop into samadhi in front of everyone, at the Mayor Baba's tomb. Well, get out of here. They're jealous. They're like, get out of here. Don't ever come back here. Don't ever come back. It's like, I don't want to come back. Thank you for recognizing who I am. You can't come back. I don't want to come back. Thank you. They recognize who you are. You're judged here on earth. You can't come back to the Baba saying you're not allowed. It's like, good, because I'm not allowed to come back in a body and be here. Thank you for performing your duty perfectly. Other people would say you're treating me like shit. You're such assholes, whatever, right? Like, how evil is that? They're not. They're saying you won the game. Don't come here again. Don't come to the Baba Center. Don't come in a body again. Don't come back. Thank you for performing, as my adversaries against the game and saying you're being given a gift and doing it politely, but still kicking me out and kicking these other people out too. Oh, what? You might win the game too. Get out of here. What? Thank you. And saying at the time, this is a great gift for you. Now get out of here and never come back. It is a great gift. Fireproof touch, right? Right. No, that is a great one. Right, Jay? So, I mean, that's some highlights of this situation, but I've kind of done what I can for the human race, and I don't see myself coming back to India on a pilgrimage again. I mean, it's so debilitating for me health wise, like it's a near death experience in the extreme for me to be here. I'm kind of feeling better at this point. Finally, my health isn't like in crazy jeopardy all day long. I'm kind of getting to the other side of this. I'm exhausted, I'll be honest with you, but I answer all questions for all the pilgrims all day long. And I don't sleep well. I'm on 2 time zones here. It's like I don't know what it's like almost midnight here. While I'm doing this now. So let me see what other notes I have here. Yeah, okay, back to what Jay brought up in the beginning. Donations, and thank you for the donations, Jay, if you give one. But let me just be clear here. Hey, thank God for the Poe family donating as much as they have over the time I've been running Jesus Christ Trust, because I had to get the truth out, and I'd done that. But if the donations like dry up, and then I'm not even going to do a weekly show anymore for Jesus Christ Trust. I'll do it if I keep getting donations, but hey, if no one's interested in the truth, I got to put a roof over my head. It's not the fallen angels don't make it easy on me. They steal my copyrighted work. They keep always coming against me. Always, always, always. They make it so hard for me to be seen on Liberty Aid Academy. And let me tell you, just 6 people come here to India. It's not like that many people really care about the truth. Almost no one does here. I've proven it in India. As I've been watched here for 2 months, they don't want the truth here in India. They don't want the truth in the USA. So I'm not really bringing hardly any souls to God or helping hardly anyone win the game here. And I've done what I can for those people. If I keep getting donations, I'll keep helping. But if donations stop, and they're not happening in a meaningful way, I'm going to stop doing even this weekly show. It doesn't. People don't respect what I'm doing. I have to go focus on Liberty Aid Academy. I have to get my law degree. Most I'm going to do now, I expose all the truth in all the videos on Jesus Christ Trust YouTube channel. I'm not going to be doing all, hey, here's a new truth and all that. Everyone's got enough information to make a choice, either accept the spiritual hierarchy and where I am, don't, whatever, that's it. My goal is really not my goal. My job every day, all day, and then come judgment day, because of my situation of where I am in the hierarchy, is basically to send everyone into that lake of fire. And the fallen angels, never telling who they are, playing their game perfectly, they're going to heaven. No, they are. The devil can go to heaven. You've done your job right. What? And everybody working for you, they can go to heaven. What? They followed God's orders. What? They played the game. They made an adversary for you in here. Which humans are even going to heaven, let alone climbing Jacob's ladder, winning the game fully, and listening to what I said and, following, oh, you want to go to God? Well, here's how you do it. Who's been listening and taken every order I ever give? I say Dee has, you know what I'm saying? But others, maybe. That the books are going to get weighed. I don't, I'm not weighing in that's Jesus comes and does that, and them angels and all that. All I can say is all I know one from experience of so long that's all the way made. I don't know, hey, I don't know about the rest of you, everyone. That happens on that day. You see what I'm saying? Unless you're like the lying down saint, I don't see anybody else not eating, not drinking for 20 years up in here. I don't know. That's someone one with God. I don't know. I just, but I know who's not going. You know what I mean? Like people who don't listen to me or don't do what I tell them right in front of you, explain I'm Christian and you didn't bow at my feet. So that's why I say to everyone in India, pretty much my saying to everyone is, happy reincarnation. And they're like, oh, thank you. I'm like, you're welcome. go get tossed in a lake of fire come 2033 and try it again. Well, thank you. You're welcome, I guess. What are you thanking me for? Why didn't you what are you up to over there? It's funny. I mean, I just do it to their face. It's crazy. Plus, the pilgrims have a lot to learn, and they're learning it in my presence, and it's not easy. Then let me just tell you, one of the things that if you want to come to God realization through the spiritual hierarchy, you want to listen to me, I guarantee, I absolutely steadfast, 100% guarantee I'm going to do one thing to you. It will happen. I'm going to break your heart. I'm going to break it. I'm going to break your heart. I will break your heart. I will. I'm sitting, these pilgrims one day were in Mumbai, right? And someone had one of the women, I said, wear a veil when you come to me. I said, when you come on this pilgrim, wear a veil. One of them wore a veil when she got to India, but she didn't wear the veil on the way to getting to India. So in France, she had her computer stolen. I was like, and then the first thing I said is, did you have your veil on? She's like, no. I was like, what? Well, you didn't follow what I said. She's like, you're right. So they're out getting a computer at this place. And I wasn't there. And they said, oh, we told this computer guy about you. And he wants to meet with you. I was like, okay, I'll go over to the computer store. I go with him. And I explained the truth, and he's like, oh. I said, so I'm Krishna, so if you don't bow at my feet, you'll reincarnate. He doesn't bow at my feet, and we leave. And we get outside, and I say to the two pilgrims that brought me there, that say, hey, you got to come to this computer store because you could maybe get this guy. I say to them, you both failed. You failed. Yeah. And they're like, what do you mean? I was like, well, what could you have done to explain to this individual who I am? You could have spontaneously bowed at my feet in front of this guy, and you could have shown who I am to him. You didn't do it. And so they're like, oh my God. I was like, don't do it again. You didn't do it spontaneously. It didn't come from your heart. And so I had to teach them that. And so I broke their heart. You know what I'm saying? Both super sweet individuals trying to do what I say. I broke their heart at that moment. I mean, I absolutely crushed it, because I was not kind when I said it to them. I was like, failure. What are you doing? You're not working for your brothers and sisters. You walked me over there. You could have just shown what I was telling him to do. You could have shown it to him yourself. Why didn't you show it to him? That would have maybe pulled him over and won his soul, but you didn't do it. Why didn't you do it? You're just sitting there and doing nothing. Why? What's wrong with you? And they're like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah. What's your service to your brothers and sisters in there? You think I'm just there to do it? And what are you doing? Could have helped them, Could have helped them. Didn't. And so everyone fails on the way to God. Everyone fails. You need a spiritual pilgrimage. I'm here to teach you on it. You see? Drill instructor, yeah, teaching how to be a saint. That's what I'm saying. It's hard. I will break your heart. Ask Dee Dee. I broke her heart. I've broken her heart how many times? I have. So, but it has to happen. What is it? I take everyone up to their fence of why everyone's in a body still. So you ain't won the game. So I take you up to your limit, right? And I show you what it is, where you can't move past because your ego, because of your previous life experiences, your karma. I bring you right up to that fence and I break your heart. I crack it open. Why? So that God can come in. You can see the error of your ways and change. Like if I don't do that, I'm not helping you. I have to show you where your limitations are, why you're still in a body, why you're reincarnating, why you're still in here. I have to show you where you're limited, break your heart, and then you can move past that. That's my job, to break everyone's heart. And really, and that's everyone. You know what I mean? Happy reincarnation, heartbroken. Everyone. My job is to break everyone's heart. That's my job. For sure, I'm doing it to everyone. You get to Judgment Day, you go to hell, I broke your heart. You see what I'm saying? I broke it. I broke it. I broke it and sent you to hell. I break everyone's heart. Everyone, 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 guaranteed. I break everyone's heart. That's my actual thing that I do for everyone. I break everyone's heart. Jay's in here. He wants to hear, oh, am I on the list? No, I'm breaking your heart right now. I'm breaking it. I'm breaking it. I'm breaking it. I know what I'm doing. I know my job. I do it. You see what I'm saying? You come up against your fence, you see where you're limited, and then only then can you see it for what it is and move past it. Do you follow? Because if you don't see your limitation that keeps you in the body, how are you going to move past it? You see, I have to take you to that and then show you that your heart has to crack open to move past that. And when your heart cracks open, what happens? Hey, your heart's open because that's where God comes, not into your mind, comes into your heart. You see? So unless I crack it open, there's no space for God to get in. You see, that it has to crack open, and then there's space, there's an opening for God to get in and change that for you. You see what I'm saying? I break it, now there's a crack and opening, and God could come in and help you change it. That's it. You see, so I have to break the heart. It's a necessity. If you're not getting your heart broken, and it's going to happen latest on Judgment Day, right? Oh, you didn't follow my orders. You're reincarnated. The angels will be like, oh, another one into the lake of fire. Bish, boom, sploosh. Your heart's broken for sure. Ouch. That's warm. So that's my actual job. is to break everyone's heart. You want that job? Anybody want that job? There are a lot of sweet people that come over here on pilgrimage. One of them just the sweetest, nicest young lady you're ever going to meet. Totally broke her heart. Totally broke her heart after that computer store experience. You want to do that to somebody super nice? You know what I mean? Do you want to have that job? You think that's a job is a great thing to have and make about your feet? You think that's like a great experience to have on my end? I know I'm serving God. I'm under orders. I do what I'm told. I'm getting out of here. I'm climbing that ladder. I'm done. That's it. I'll break everyone's heart. You want me to break everybody's heart? I'll break everybody's heart. I'll break every single individual's heart in here. No problem, God. Get me out of here. Why? Because that serves them. They have to have that anyway. You see? No, it would suck. Exactly, Jay. It sucks. My job sucks. Just like my shadow, the devil, whose job sucks next to mine just as much. The devil. I have to do all these evil things to you. Well, how everybody experiences me doing that to them as evil. Oh, you broke my heart. No, I cracked it open so God could come in showing your limitations, right? Bear Baba says, call me the devil or call me the avatar, right? Call me Christ, whatever. Doesn't matter what you call me because it's going to feel the same at some point. You're going to be livid at me, angry, disappointed, heartbroken. Your heart's going to break. Can you move past the heartbreak and still do what I said? Because it could change the next moment. I broke your heart. See your limitation? Yes. You still going to do what I say? Your heart's broken. Yeah, I'll do what you say. And to that young lady who I broke her heart, she touched that Mare Baba's tune and she absolutely felt God's bliss and was overwhelmed and had the most emotional reaction of anyone ever, maybe at the tomb, maybe with the exception of me. Absolutely experienced God 100%. I broke her heart and she was shattered into a million pieces. Thing was wide open. God jumped right in there at the tomb. She felt God completely, almost turned into a lying down saint herself. So full was God that come into her. No, I do my job. Why? Because you have to come to the shadow before you get to God. You have to come to the devil. You have to get your heart broken on the way to God. Have to, or you're not coming to God. Period. It has to crack open to let God in. Has to. They'll be doing testimonials and whatnot when they get back. They're still on pilgrimage. They're still experiencing their pilgrimage. You'll get your testimonials. They already filmed. They filmed them getting kicked out of the Baba Center. They filmed it with 2 separate angles, with 2 cameras. You don't think that happened? You don't think there's going to be testimonial? You don't think there's going to be testimonial about what they've seen Jesus Christ? You don't think? Yeah, that's going to happen. They already have that prepared. They're going to work it on, but they're on pilgrimage still. Yeah, y'all are going to get that information. So is the rest of the world. Yeah, 2 cameras, right? So, like I said, like Mayor Baba never touched money, right? Never spoke. Me, I have to touch money, right? If I don't get donations for New Life, right? New Life, all I do is beg. If I'm not getting alms, if I'm not my begging, if my performance hasn't of all these miracles of bringing people to God and everything I do, if this isn't enough for you to donate and keep me doing this, well, it's not enough. I got to go over to Liberty Aid Academy. I got to focus on that. I got to go back to war and earn my daily bread over there, getting people the financial miracles and all that stuff. That's pretty much what I got to focus on. That's because what I don't earn enough of doing the avatar being Christ to earn my daily bread and keep a roof over my head. I still have to do Liberty Aid Academy. I don't get enough to do that. And if it dries up, I won't do this anymore. I'll be over on Liberty Aid Academy, right? Waging war against the devil and everyone over there. That's what I'll be doing, waging war. I'll be doing it anyway, but it'll just be full-time or part-time. I'll be over here. It's up to people. It's not up to me. It's up to you. That's what's up. So that's everything. Thanks for tuning in. I thought I'd give you an update. I'm not going to be here next week. I'll be here the week after because I'll be traveling back to the USA next Sunday. Next Sunday after that, I'll be back on here. We'll see if donations showed up. Almost no donations showed up for weeks. So obviously people don't need me. Okay. Come Judgment Day, whoop, whoop, toss them in the lake of fire. By your actions, by your fruits, you shall be known. You support Christ or you say deny it. That's up to you. That's up to you. I'm the polarizing agent. I'm the one on Judgment Day makes your outcome be whatever it is. That dude's a liar. Okay, toss him in the lake. Whoop. See you later. Oh, he was real. You listen to what he said. Hey, at least go to heaven. Maybe you've done it so well you hit the ladder and you're out of the game. That's all there is, right? Oh, Mayor Baba had a secret book. Nobody knows where it is. Nobody knows what it said. Already wrote it. I wrote it. You read Game of Souls. I'm sitting here talking about all the hidden everything in reality, nothing left out on this channel. I didn't leave a single thing out. Who can do that? No one, only one. It proves who I am. So, all right, Jay, thanks for being here. Thanks for being here, Dee Dee. I appreciate it. I appreciate the support. Obviously, you're doing your best to be on the list and get out of here, supporting this channel, doing your actions, listening to what I say, doing your best, asking for God's help. You're doing as best as you can. You've been around a long time. You've seen who I am. You accept who I am, and you're doing your best. Good for you. What more can you do, right? Thanks for your support. Anyone who watches this and everything, thanks for your donations. I'm the opposite of Mayor Palma. I'm poor and I live on donations for over a decade, only donations. And you know anyone that lives only on donations for over a decade? Know anyone? Know anyone that's had to produce the miracles I've had to produce? Know anyone? Come on. I mean, God makes me, like this dancing monkey on a leash. Come on, dance, little monkey. Come on, dance it up down there. You're working for me. Beg for your peanuts, That's who I am. How's my ego doing down there dancing as a dancing monkey for the organ grinder? How's my ego doing? Crushed. Crushed. And I'll break yours. I'll break your heart on the way because I'm under orders to do it. Bow at my feet. God, who wants to say that? Who wants to experience it? You want to try getting that from somebody and feel the weight of their entire karma of their past and their future fall on your shoulders? You want that? Think about a soul, an individual coming to you, bowing at your feet means it's on you, your karma, to bring them to God. You want that? You want another soul, not just yours. You want another soul's karma on your shoulders to bring them to God. You want that? Would you find that comfortable? What? Think about it. Think about that. For real, think about that. You think I want that? I am under orders. I work for God. That's it, period. All right. Everyone, my last bit of information. See you as soon as you get back. I'm on flight to Florida. All right. I'm not making no. I'm gonna be at the drum circle this time. Whatever, man. I'm backed up for months. I got so much to do. I'm gonna be going to the drum circle as much as I can. You see what I'm saying? I can't say I'm gonna be there and all that. I ain't dropping no demons, man. The demons can all do what they want. The devil's forgiven. You see what I'm saying? It's about who drops it to the knees at my feet. That's all it's about. Them demons are going to heaven. I'm like, you're forgiven. Good job. Way to be a difficult team to overcome. Way to go. Because look, is it fair that someone else gets to do less than I've done? Is that fair? that you get to do less difficult actions than I done, expose everything in public. Is that fair? That ain't fair. God's fair. You ain't gonna climb that ladder unless you've done as much as me. No one climbs that ladder unless you've done as much as me. Ain't no way. Hey, you do a lot, you can make it to heaven. Fantastic, way better than hell. Hooray. But win the game, untold difficulties, heartbroken, all that. So hard. This game is hard. I ain't lying. I ain't lying. This game is so hard. It just is. All the cops, fallen angels. Oh, what? Obviously. Come on. What? Obviously. Yes, good question. Absolutely. You already knew the answer. Come on now. Come on. Come on. I see some calling it a game. Yeah, dude, what? They know. What? Of course. They know. You're meant to call on God's name, sign and trust, and make it so they can't touch you. Frozen solid. And they're here to test that. I'm gonna get you. Oh, looks like you won the game. They give you notice. But it is how I'm gonna approach the cops. Yeah, of course, of course. You all worship the devil. They go, yes. So what are you gonna do about it? I'm gonna pray for you in the name of Jesus Christ. They're like, ah. All right. I'll give you a funny send out. I have to go through a bunch of airports, right? We just went through an airport, right? There's these big army dudes, right? And they got in India they wear automatic rifle across their chest, right? Has like a folding stock and stuff. They got their automatic weapon. They're just standing there. And this is what I do to them. This is what I do to them. I walk up to them like, "Oh, hey, can I try that?" Like to their gun. "Hey, can I try that?" They're like, "What? Can I try that?" "Hey, I'll shoot up. It's cool. Let me try that. Let me try that thing." They're like, "Dude," this one dude was like, "Dude, where are you from?" I'm like, "USA. I'm from beyond the firmament, man." He's like, "Man, go over there." "Hey man, can I try that?" Who's ever done that to the fucking military in the airport? No one. Man, I mess with them. I know who they are. You ask if they're pollinated. Yeah, I know who they are. You work for the devil, i.e., you work for me. "Hey, let me try your toy, man." Man, get it. I had three army posted outside my door in Mumbai in a hotel on the 6th floor. They're nowhere else in the whole hotel. Three of them sitting in chairs outside my door. I walk up to them. "Hey, try and point your gun at me. Let me show you I'm Krishna. You won't be able to point it at me, and then you can fall at my feet and you win the game." They're like, "No, sir, no, sir, no, sir, no, sir." I'm like, "What? You're at my door. Come on. Let you win the game. Come on, let me help you. I'm Christian. Let me help you." I don't have blue skin. I have blue eyes. What are you, racist? I'm Christian. Let me show you. Just try and point that thing at me. No, 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 no. I mess with them. How are you gonna sit outside my door? The game on, comedy on. Who does that? Come on. Come on. Who does that? Who does that? You ask about the cops. How about the military? Yeah. I mess with them. The cops are easy. I go for the military with the automatic weapons. "Hey, let me try your toy, man." Oh. What? Let me try it. Let me try that thing. They're like, yeah. Yeah. You ready to win the game? You ready to make it the whole game a joke to them, the ones with the guns? Who's ready to do that? Me, I do it all the time. I do it everywhere I go. I'm in another country and I do it to them. And I really mess with them. Who's doing that? Proving who I am. Good question. How about that? How about that for an answer, Jay? All right. If I get some donations, I know, hey, you want me to keep going? And I'll be here in 2 weeks. So if not, I'll leave the channel up and you got the information and whatever. All right, people. Have a good 2 weeks. I'll see you in 2 weeks. I'm gonna finish up this pilgrimage. I'll do the full update after the end of the pilgrimage. I'll give you an update in 2 weeks. All right. Uh, thanks for being here, Jay. Thanks for the feedback. GD, thanks for the feedback. Whoever else is here, right? Whatever demon is watching me, whatever CIA agent is out there, how you doing? Thanks for being our adversaries. I'm gonna kick your ass up and down the street like usual. Come at me, yo. There you go, up and down the street, kicking your ass. Boop, 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 boop. That's my job. Come at me if you dare. Whatever. The rest of you, right? I'm here to break your heart. It's time to come to God. One more question? Oh, okay. All right. One more question. Here it comes. What do you got, man? I'm about to jump off. Look at me. I'm here an hour and a half. I'll take one more question. You send an email. Oh, okay. You want to buy the whole package? Yeah. Contact at liberty8academy.org. Write us an email. Okay. Okay, okay. Let me go into that. I'm getting the full information up. I'll do a full video on that. But right now, everything's out there for $24.97, and them other miracles and 4 other miracle courses, I'm like have them go up like April 1st or May 1st. I'm like, you know what? Why am I going to take away the foreclosure information, the debt information, all that? I'm going to do that. But even if you get it now, there's going to be an upgrade price, that you can handle. Especially if you do a testimonial. Anytime you get the full course, we got a discount for EBT. We got a discount for veterans. So you can email us. You can buy it straight off the website, whatever. From the video I made 4 hours ago, you watched that. Good. You saw the video. Good. So if you have any questions on them details, you email us. Contact at liberty8academy.org. If there's something that Tammy doesn't understand from it, I'll make sure she emails me back, and I get you the information you need. Jay. Okay. All right. All right, everyone. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your support, whether it be through Liberty 8 Academy, whether it be through Jesus Christ Trust. Thank you for the support. The more money I can make, the more money I can give. Exactly. So we pray for God's help on that. That's it. Read Acts 5 in the Bible, in the New Testament, Acts 5, and see that I don't ask for what it says. In the Bible, in the New Testament, it says what I should ask for, and I don't ask for that. And in Acts 5, it says I should ask for every single thing you own. I'm taking your entire karma on my shoulders, and I don't ask for every penny you have and every asset you have. I don't do that. All the apostles in the Bible, they've done that. I don't ask for that. Yet still, I take all your karma on my shoulders. Who am I? I am the compassionate one, right? I don't ask for everything you have, right? Even though I take on everything you have, but I don't ask for everything you have. These donations are small. Enjoy the beach. Thank you very much, Jay. We are at the beach here, and it's a good come down. Let me tell you, the water's warm. The sand's much closer to white than in North Goa. It's very nice. It's very pleasant here. Thank you very much for that. Until you're standing in front of the Judgment Day gigantic painting, it's like, well, that's not that relaxing. What? No, but thank you, Jay. And thank you for your support. Thank you for your real questions. And I'm here to help. Okay. Thank you, Dee Dee. I know you're in the background there. All right. Everyone, God bless you. Win this game before they wipe your memory again, and you got to play it again. Win this game before then. Come on, this game is hard. I'm here to help you, okay? God bless you in the name of Jesus Christ. I'll see you in 2 weeks.